Now I got to tell you, there's one very basic driver move that makes a world of difference on how well you're going to hit the big stick, how far you're going to hit it, and how straight you're going to hit it. Most players that I see will set up to the ball very much too vertically, meaning that their spine is straight up and down, their head is kind of between their feet, and the ball may be even a little bit more toward the middle of their stance. And when they swing in their downswing, because we're told to kind of square the club face up by rolling our forearms over, a lot of times what will happen is we'll stand up out of our posture in the downswing, meaning my upper body starts to lean back like this so that my arms can throw, and I'm very much vertical or straight up and down here. Well, the best drivers in the game, actually every single player on the PGA Tour, you can line them up from 1 all the way to 200. Every single one of them is not going to be doing that. They're going to be behind the golf ball. The ball position is going to be on the inside of the front foot. From there, if I had my left arm from my shoulder kind of straight down toward the driver, my right arm would be angled back like this. So instead of my shoulders being level, I'm going to have my shoulders this way. There's a couple ways I can do this. I'm going to show you several different ways to get this feeling. Number one, I can start with my hands to my sides. This would be vertical. My fingertips are the same distance down my pant legs. As I start to tilt my shoulders, I'm going to continue to tilt them, so I get a little bit of knee flex. I tilt my shoulders until my right fingers are just above my kneecap, and my left fingers have kind of slid up to just below my pocket on my pants there. That will get my shoulders tilted like this. It gets my head behind the golf ball, and now all of a sudden I'm in a position here to where I can create a ton of lag in the downswing. I can comfortably create lag. I can come from the slot or from the inside, and then from there I can release on out through the ball and get a lot of extension as I'm coming through there. You see, if I swing too vertically like this, I'm going to end up throwing my arms down at it and standing up out of my posture. So let's go ahead and try the wrong way here again. I'm going to stand up like that. I feel like I'm kind of pushing the club through, very awkward, where as I let my arms slide down my legs like this, now I'm behind it. I almost feel like I'm going to, if I had an axe here, I'd be hitting it. So if this is the tip of the axe, I'd be hitting it from the inside like this, and my shoulders are angled behind it. It's just a much more powerful position. From there, I feel like I can absolutely hammer it. I don't know why it's going so quick on the screen today, but that one, 290 carry, 313 total distance, much easier to hit a draw, much easier to come from the inside. So tilting the shoulders, sliding the hands down, that's one way of doing it. Now another way, if I was to take my club, we're getting to the exact same result here, but if my hips are out of line, it's not going to work. So I'm going to put this club on the front of my pants here, on my belt, where my belt is, on my belt loops. So it's the same height, it's level with my hips. From there, I'm going to go ahead and bump my hips so that my left hip is a little higher, my right hip is a little lower, and now you can see this club shaft gets slightly angled up like that. So this would be level, this would be me leaning the other way. I'm getting a little bump this way, and I'm slightly closing my hips. This makes it a little easier to get my body tilted back behind the golf ball slightly. So all I'm doing there is tilting it, turning it a little bit closed, and now all of a sudden, again, I'm opening up this big amount of room, this big amount of space to come from the inside and to get that club shallowed out so that I can hit that nice draw. Now here, I'm going to overdraw it a little bit. I'd rather do that a little extra because most players would love to hit a little extra draw, if anything. So now I bump my hips forward, a little bit closed, and again, I'm creating that same kind of feeling where it's tilting my shoulders, my head is behind the golf ball. There we go. Killed that one. Again, 290-ish carry, 287.4, 312 total distance. I'm pretty daggone happy with that. Now here's the problem with that. There's two ways to square the golf club. One way to square the golf club would be to release my forearms, to feel like my forearms are going to roll over each other, and that's going to take this club face and square this club face up. Now the problem with that idea is that in order to get the face square, my forearms need to be released, neutral like this. Well, I can't get in this position with my forearms neutral. If I'm in this position like we just talked about, look at my right forearm. It's much lower than my left forearm. Look at that angle there to where now I'm coming from the inside, I'm behind this golf ball. that would have my forearms angled like this. That would be like my face being wide open. So if I take my forearms like that and I don't square the club face up the ways the pros are doing it, look how the face is pointing over there to the right somewhere. So if you've been taught to square the club face like that, and all of a sudden you get behind this golf ball, everybody's telling you, get from the slot, get from the inside. But if you've been told the wrong way to square the club face, here's what happens when you swing one from the inside. The ball goes to the right and even farther to the right. That's in the trees in the right rough. Maybe you hit it pretty decent, maybe you didn't, but it's going way too far that way, which you don't really want to have happen. The pros are doing something different. They're using something I call the anti-roll method. They're not rolling these forearms to square them up. They're able to get from the slot, get that arm there, and they square up the face by using the arms, the forearms, and the wrist in the right way. Now notice how my forearms are much more in the pro position like I talked about, but look at the club face, nice and square, so I can hit the heck out of the golf ball. I'm going to teach you how to do that in my anti-roll method video, which I'm going to play a preview of here in 1 second. All you need to do is go ahead and click the card that pops up on your screen somewhere. If you don't see one of those cards, don't worry. Go down to the description below, click the link there. You'll get instant access to my anti-roll method video. Let's go ahead and get started with it. I cannot wait to share with you the anti-roll method, start helping you play your best golf ever. So here's the bottom line. If you've been taught to roll the club in the early downswing, that causes the shaft to get steep. And that steep club causes all your problems. Causes you to hit it way behind the big hitters and way inconsistent with your quality of strikes. So you're in the tall grass and the trees and the hazards all day long. Now the great news is this. There's really only 2 pieces that you need to know to fix all these problems. The first one is we need to learn the proper way to square up the club face. Instead of rolling the forearms and getting steep, there's another way that the pros do this. Once you learn this right way to square up the club face, then you can shallow out from the inside and everything starts to fit together. Now I'm going to teach you this right now in what I call the anti-roll method. You may also hear this called the motorcycle move or the tour twist, but let's walk through exactly how to do that. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and go kind of in the last parallel in the downswing. So here, I want my hips to go ahead and be opening up. I want my club to be parallel with the ground, and I want my hands to be in front of my right thigh. Now, when I take my grip, you're going to notice that when I do this, the club face is basically straight up and down. So if I'm looking at it from this angle, you'll see the face is straight up and down, and my logo of my glove is pointed out in front of me. Now from there,